Hello and welcome to our second class, Unit 2, Amazing Animals. Today we are going to talk about habitats, garden animals, pond animals, and rainforest animals. But before starting with the lesson, you need to check some things. The first thing you need is to watch this video. You also need your My Polls Are Here 2A, your student book. I sent two links of YouTube so you can watch two videos and you can add subtitles. These are going to make the video easier. Don't worry, I will explain this later. Also, at the end of the lesson, you need to work on some worksheets that I sent so you can check how much you learned in this lesson. Alright, but before starting, let's talk about what we learned in the previous lesson. Last class we talked about human body, how our bones and muscles work together so we can move. We learn how our respiratory system and digestive system work. This is important for this lesson. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You can pause the video so you can think about it. What connection can you make between Unit 1 and what you think you're going to learn in Unit 2? Alright, now I'm going to ask you to open your My Polls Are Here 2A on page 12 and 13, please. Okay? So, what can you see in this picture? There are some animals. There are our characters. What are they doing? What else can you think? Alright, now let's discuss about the let's find out questions on page 12 on the left. Don't worry, you don't need to answer this today. We are going to work with these questions during the whole unit, so that's why it's important that you keep them in mind. The first question, where do animals live? How are animals different? What animals are useful? Useful means something good for you. What animals are harmful? Harmful means the opposite of useful. So that is something that is not good for you or it can be dangerous. Now let's check the boys question at the end of the page. Where do you live? What animals visit your home? In my case, I live in an apartment, a big building. Some animals I can see through my window are cats, dogs, sometimes bees, but mainly birds. What about you? Alright, now I'm going to ask you to watch our first YouTube video. Please click the link and watch the animal habitats video. Alright, so remember to add the subtitles. These are going to help you. Was it fun? I love the video. Now, what is a habitat? Can you answer that question yourself? And what do animals need to live? Try to answer this. You can pause the video now. Alright, so we can say that a habitat is a place where animals live. In this place, animals can find food, water, shelter, and space. Let's make a connection between Unit 1 and Unit 2. Humans also need a place to live, a shelter. A shelter is something that protects the living being so it can live or sleep and do what it needs to do. Also, in this place, we have food, water, and space to play, to move, to go to different places. We can identify two kinds of habitats, land and water. Now, I'm going to ask you to think about four animals and four habitats. Take your time. Think about this. Okay? Now, let's go to our book again. Open your My polls are here on page 14 and 15, please. What can you see in this picture? Can you describe it? You can pause the video so you can talk about it. Okay, let's read the questions. What animals can you see? Well, here we have an earthworm, fish, duck, tadpoles, ants, butterfly, and bee. Where do these animals live? What we can see here, it's a garden. This habitat is land. Also, we can see a pond. A pond is a water source where you can see plants and animals. So that's the other habitat. A water habitat, the pond, and a land habitat, the garden. Check the word bank words. Here we have garden, garden, soil, soil, pond, pond, water, water, land, land. Now, as you can see in this picture, we have two different habitats and different animals. Are all these animals the same? Do they have the same body parts? Which animals here do you think can only live on land? There is no air habitat because if an animal goes, it's flying, for example, like butterflies, birds, or bees, and they fall asleep in the air, that wouldn't be good for them. So the habitats that we can talk are land and water. The animals that can fly live on land. Which animals do you see here that live on water? Which animals do you see here that live on land? Do you think there are animals that can live in more than one habitat? For example, the duck. The duck is an animal that can live on water but also on land. The tadpoles too. Tadpoles transform into frogs when they grow up. Frogs can live on water and on land, but not all, not all animals can do this. For example, if you grab a bee and you put it on water, the bee won't make it. If you take a fish outside the water and put it on land, the fish won't make it. Okay, please, let's go to the next pages, 16 and 17. Again, what can you see in this picture? Take a minute so you can talk about this. Right, here we see snake, flower pecker, gibbon or orangutan, and chameleon. That's the first question. What animals can you see? Now the second one, where do these animals live? Is this a garden? Is this a pond? Or is this a different place? What place is this? Think about that. The last question is, how do these animals move? Do they move in the same way? Uh-huh. That's interesting. As you can see, the orangutan, the gibbon, the chameleon have legs or arms, in the case of the gibbon and the orangutan. But the snake or the flower pecker don't have these parts. The flower pecker have wings, so it can fly. Also, the snake have no arms, no legs, and no wings. They move in a different way. They work in a different way. Now, let's think about this. Which of these animals do you think can live on the garden? Which of these animals can live on the pond? Can you think that the animals on the previous pages can live in this rainforest? That's an interesting question. Now check the wow section in the page 16. It says, orangutans are smart animals. They can use leaves as umbrellas or cups to drink water. That's super interesting. They can use tools. Monkeys and orangutans are very smart animals. They can use their hands to move things and to use objects as we do, but we are not the same. Now, let's read the we care. Use both sides of paper to save the trees in the forest. Help protect the home of many animals. This is super important because this rainforest is a habitat. So when people go there and hunt animals or cut down trees, they are destroying the habitat, these animals' home. That's not good. Now let's check the word bank. Here we have trees, trees, forest, forest, fly, fly, glide, glide, climb, climb, swing, swing, crawl, crawl. As you can see here, we have words that are super easy, like trees or forest. The other words, fly, glide, climb, swing, and crawl, are words that talk about how animals move. A snake doesn't fly, they glide. An orangutan can climb trees, they don't fly. A gibbon can swing, and a chameleon can crawl. The flower pecker is the only animal that you are seeing that can fly. Now it's time for you to watch the second video, Rainforest. Here you're going to understand why it's important to protect animals and the habitats. Alright, I hope you like the video. Today, we'll learn what is a habitat, what do animals need to live. Animals are different. They live in different places and they do different things. We'll talk about garden, forest, rainforest. These three places are a land habitat. We also talk about pond. In this case, that's our water habitat. Okay, I hope you like this lesson. That's all for today. There is a little surprise in the worksheet. There are activities there for you so you can think about what you learn, but you can ask your parent if he or she allows you to play a little game that I add as a link. That game is about spelling animals. It's fun. I think you're going to like it. Alright, that's all for today. I hope we have our next class soon. Be safe. Bye bye.